On our last day of shooting, we encountered problems even before we had started filming. I had just assumed that Godfrey would be wearing his uniform and sandals every day. But Godfrey had gone through quite an effort to get hold of a suit and some nice shoes, and I very nicely had to explain to him that he actually needed to wear his uniform and sandals for continuity reasons every day. So we got Alex to drive Godfrey home to change, and since we had some time on our hands and he needed to bike a lot that day, I took the opportunity to fix his bike and adjust the brakes a little bit. For the first shot of the day, we had Godfrey biking down the middle of the road towards the camera. When I came home and started the post-production, I noticed that we'd managed to capture a little boy playing with a hoop and stick in the right frame. It must have been the most perfect accidental timing of the day. We were so lucky to get that shot. We did not need to look for locations where Godfrey would have problems biking. There was plenty of places where he had to carry the bike through mud or up steep hills. Getting the close-ups of Godfrey biking down the road proved much more difficult than I'd thought. Due to the uneven road, it was much harder and dangerous hanging out at the back of the truck with the camera. It all went well though, and we got some really nice shots of Godfrey biking. It was now midday and really hot. I could see that Godfrey was getting tired after a few retakes and having to carry the bike through the mud and up the steep hills. So I offered Godfrey to change places. I got on the bike and he could sit in the air-conditioned car. Due to the poor roads, I was much quicker on the bike than the cars, and I lost them quite quickly. And it must have been a sight for the local school children, seeing me coming down the middle of the road all by myself on a bike. As we came to the big river, we had to dramatize a bit, and we got Godfrey to carry the bike across the river instead of using the bridge. To save time, Johnny flew the drone from the bridge, while Joey and I hid under the bridge with a 3-camera setup. As always, the drone drew a big crowd, and before we knew it, the bridge was full of spectators watching the action. We had not noticed the big black clouds gathering over the mountains, and we now had to hurry up. We still had some close-ups to film of Godfrey in the water, and I was nervous we wouldn't be able to get them because of the rain. Godfrey, however, was much more nervous of the potential flood wave that could come down from the heavy rain in the mountains. We managed to get the close-ups of Godfrey in the water, and as we hurried up towards the cars, we almost got run over by cattle coming down to the river. It all got a bit hectic, and we even tried to get a shot of Godfrey biking among the cattle. It was a little bit dangerous. It now started to rain heavy, and we just managed to get the equipment back in the car before it got soaked. However, we had one big problem. If it didn't stop to rain, we would not be able to do the last shots in the village, and this was our last day of filming. So check out the next episode to see what we get up to while we wait for the rain to stop in the village, and our heartfelt goodbyes to John and Laston. Thanks for watching. Remember to share, like and comment below. Peace.